So, hello everyone. Let's begin with our session today. So, first of all, good afternoon to everyone. And thank you for joining the session today with us today. On behalf of Salesforce Admin Group Nashik and Salesforce Developer Group Bhubaneswar, we are very pleased to be able to welcome everyone to our event, Getting Started with Tableau CRM Journey. Before we get started, I will brief you all about our group leaders and speaker for the event. Myself, Sonali Dhurjad, and Manasvi Gharat, the community group leaders of Salesforce Admin Group Nasik. Then we also have Debashish Jena, Chinmaya Rath, and Rahul Gupta, the community group leaders of Salesforce Developer Group Bhubaneswar. And today, as a speaker, we have Debashish Jena amongst us today, and he will be sharing his knowledge on Tableau CRM throughout the session. Debashish is a Salesforce certified application architect professional with 10 plus years of experience in Salesforce, having an expertise in Salesforce.com development, requirement analysis, enterprise software, agile methodologies, and customer relationship management. He is founder of salesforcecoachschool.com and also an author in e-learning platform Udemy. We have with us an all-round techie come consultant today to deliver the session today. A warm welcome to Debashish, and now I request Debashish to start with the session. Over to you, Debashish.
Yeah, thank you, Sonali, for a quick and sweet introduction. So, let me share my screen. I'll jump directly to the topics. So, as you gave a very brief introduction, that's sufficient for everyone to know about me. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you make it Sonali?
Yes, sure. Just can you check now? Yes, it is on. Hello? Hello? Debashish, am I audible?
Yes, Sonali, audible.
Yeah.
Yes, Sonali,
Yes,
I
you
can hear
can
you.
share. You can share the screen now. I have given the access.
For-
Yes.
Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen now.
Yes, I confirm.
Okay, just give me a minute. Let me share my content. So in today's session, we'll talk more about the Tableau CRM, the overview journey of Tableau CRM, what you can do in the Tableau CRM, and how can we develop one small dashboard without writing a single line of code. You just need to have analytics skill set. You should know what features we have in Salesforce, and simply we can create different Tableau CRM to build it. I'm keeping in the mind the audience of the session from the beginner level so that I can start from the scratch. So how you can get a Tableau CRM or how you can so from the scratch. Yeah. So when you say Tableau CRM, what it means? Okay. And one more thing I want to tell you, if you have any questions, you can put the questions in the chat window. Our team will help you to answer that. And if something left out, we discuss in the end of the session also. Okay. CRM, it's nothing but one of the intelligence and visualization platform given by Salesforce to analyze the data, to visualize the data, so that we can by running the prediction builders, we can predict what data we have, and based on that, what is going to happen in the next. Okay. Tableau CRM, also known as Einstein Analytics or Wave in the past. So now it's renamed to Tableau CRM. You can call it as Einstein Analytics, Tableau CRM. Both are well known name in Salesforce ecosystem. Okay. So now the Tableau CRM, what it do, it collect data from multiple sources. The data might be in Salesforce, might be outside of Salesforce in some other database. It will collect all data, then it will create a interactive view of data so that you can present to your management, to present to any user or the target audience of my data. And the data what is on that. It's completely AI powered advanced analysis of Salesforce. So here it will be easy for like natural language processing what implemented here. It will be easy to predict the data and recommend based on the top what is the decision you have to take on that. Okay. So saying the data, visualize the data in a visualization format, something looks like report and dashboard kind of thing. So you might think, before in Salesforce, we have report and dashboard. Now why I need to go to Tableau CRM? In report and dashboard also, we can create a dashboard. We can you can visualize the dashboard charts, different components. You can export the data. Then why this Tableau CRM coming to the picture? Okay. Report and dashboard in Tableau CRM. So there are some differences, or you can say some advantages over it. So we can discuss that on that. So if you want to create a report and dashboard, what you can do, simply you can take the data only from your Salesforce object. Let's say I want to create a dashboard using Salesforce report and dashboard. Then what you do, you can need the data might be in your objects. Like if I want to build a dashboard in the last quarter, what are the revenue generated from some accounts? Then you have to run a report on account and opportunity object. So I think I have some data in my SQL Server database in applications, but I want to do some kind of analysis, or I want to build a dashboard on top of that. I cannot do using report and dashboard because my data external, it's outside of Salesforce. But if you have Tableau CRM, then what you can do, the data source can be Salesforce or can be outside of Salesforce. All the data we can take to Tableau CRM. Tableau CRM is itself a platform which will run now. Okay. So when you might be you might create a report type and it's okay from like relationship objects, and you cannot take any number of relationships to display the data from different object. Here in Tableau CRM, we can take multiple level of relationships, and from that relationship data, you can build a dashboard. We'll do that example. How it's going to happen. And definitely, when you run a report in the page, you can see maximum 2,000 records. And later you can export it more number, but in the screen you can see maximum 2,000 records. But here, you can display 1 and above record also. Okay, so the volume of record can be processed more in Tableau CRM, and reported in dashboard you can run what data you have. You can just subscribe or schedule the report for one particular time to give the snapshot to a particular user. The data in the Tableau CRM, you can schedule it. For example, you have a SQL Server database, or maybe some data you have in the AWS server. Now what we can do, we can set, okay, every evening let's data to bring to my Einstein platform or to my Tableau CRM platform. That kind of scheduling also you can do. And the data in Tableau CRM is a big data format. See, but it's your operational database, like your account contact opportunity what you have. Okay, definitely. So you can use either analytics app or Tableau CRM or Salesforce app in the report and dashboard part. Okay, so if you see the graphical presentations like this, you might create report dashboard as of now, but the dashboard when you create using a Tableau CRM, you can control the layout, how you want to display, what are the chart you want to do, what is the color background you want to change, everything you can manage it. We'll see these examples when you're running through the sessions here. So now, if differences between, there are some pain points what would happen in report dashboard, like it fail in a report, like 5, and your report column can be 10. Okay, if you want to use more than 4, you cannot go beyond it. So that's a pain point. And whenever I'm adding some filter in report, so there's limitations. Okay, so to overcome all these things, if I'm going to Tableau CRM, if you see, you can sync more than 100 objects, sync up to 100 objects. You can recognize the trend, what's going on. You can handle different data sets with huge volume of records. Okay, we can perform historical analysis. We can perform action on records in WCRM itself. Okay, we have the many advanced formula to use for the creating different calculation field. Okay, and there are many different templates also given in Tableau CRM to build your dashboard easily just by clicking some buttons. Okay, nothing more need to be done. Now, if you see, okay, we got to know there is something Tableau CRM, something dashboard. We and okay, Tableau CRM is having more capability, more features which we can use. So how can I do it? To Tableau CRM, as you Salesforce gives a free developer org for Tableau CRM. It's not the same developer org what we before. Like anytime if you developer org, we used to go to developer.salesforce.com from here. But if you want to use Tableau CRM, you can free tab. No need to sign up from here, but you have to go to come then promotions org analytics de org. So we have to get analytics de org. Okay, you hit this a simple process how you to sign up for any of the social accounts or anywhere similar way. You can just then fill the information here, name, your email, you want to get all the information like how you do for the account. Okay, let me already I'm signed in Salesforce, so it's asking me to log into my promotion org. Let me go to window to show you how it looks like now. For the developer org, for the analytics at W. If you do not have, if you want to explore on it, simply go to trailheadsalesforce.com promo. Then you can just click on the sign up here. We can do it. So once you sign up this, simply to say you can simply get your emails. Okay, so in the email, what you can and you activate the same process what we have to create in the developer. For example, if I want to create all, I'm just giving my email ID, for example. You can define your role, something, define some name, your code, then which name you want to set. Let's see, I said at the rate meetup.com, for example. Right? Sign me up. So once you sign me up, what is going to happen? Give you a simple email, which takes time, but for you guys, I have already written already. So if you see, then you can get some kind of email like this. Okay, then account, set your password. Okay, I'm able to log into the Salesforce instant analytics org. Okay, when I say once you logged into instant analytics org, what you can do on that org. For example, this is one of the analytics org which we logged in. Okay, let me go back to my application. Okay, this is analytics org. You can see something called Analytics Studio. We'll come back to this point very soon. Okay, so simply to say, if you want to get a org, go to this link and simply do the sign up. Okay, so now once you do sign up, you are able to log into your account. Now you can check some analytics settings. So I'm going to touch the maximum things what we can cover in the overview of Tableau CRM. The what are my major components we have, how we can create a dashboard. So if you want to check the analytics setting, so simply in the setup, you go to here, type analytics, you can. So here nothing but different features or how you want to set up your analytics that you can see. Okay, if you want to enable your data sync connection, if you want to enable Amazon S3 connections, if you want to make a Salesforce output connection, just you have to click on these checkboxes. Okay, if you want to enable Lightning Web component to be analytics dashboard, that also you can do. If you want to, whenever you have a dashboard, your data set available in your analytics or Tableau CRM, and you want to open that record in a browser tab, so you can simply click this and enable all this, and you can see some features already came here. Support, if you want to enable Tableau CRM custom time zone to support, you can do this. Okay, and if you want SQL used in your Tableau CRM, you can enable. Who are my beta features as of now. Okay, but this is nothing but talks about different type of settings which you can do right now for the sessions. To initially you want to build a dashboard, you don't need anything, let it by default. But whenever you want to, let's see, somebody say want to have a lightning web component I embed in your analytics dashboard, so that features you have to enable first here. Okay, it's nothing but the setting part what we have right now to go through. So similar, when we say this setting parts and all the stories, uh, three aspects. You check your settings, what you need to do. Second, in your org, let's see your company bought a Tableau CRM license. Okay, now in your organization, you might have 200 users. Might not needed your Tableau CRM license to be used. So now what it happened, Salesforce given licenses for it when you buy it. So now, if you see, there is two major licenses what we get as an analytics platform and Tableau CRM Plus. If you want to check analytics or Tableau CRM available or not to be used, simply you go to your company information here under setup. From company information, if you see the licenses, and this analytics license come under the permission licenses, you can see something called analytics platform, and if you expand it, then you can see something called plus licenses. So these are licenses which needed to make some user to use Tableau. For example, if I go, so I have many list of users use the Tableau CRM, or who can develop a dashboard in Tableau CRM. That depends on what permission you have given. If I go to my user, for example, if you see, I have a permission set assignment, Tableau CRM plus permissions. When I signed off the developer org for Tableau CRM, by default, everything added. You can see what licenses enable for me and what is the permission set assignment happened to me. Okay, these are the default things you can see. These are default permissions automatically coming up when you bought a Tableau CRM license or when you access using the free org. Okay, like if right now you user, simply can go, I can assign. So now nothing, you have your org you signed up, you have the list of user who can use it by assigning these permission sets. And what setup you want to do, analytics setting. So now your Tableau CRM is ready to be used. So what we can do here? Now you can explore a little bit more about Tableau CRM. We'll see, okay, I have a org. In the org, how can I access it? Okay. So in the classic and lightning, you can play around it. If you go to your app launcher, simply search studio. You can get one app called as Analytics Studio. If you open this in the one page with multiple options, and I'll let you know what all these things. So in analytics, what I want to do, I want to create a dashboard by different sources, like from Salesforce, from outside Salesforce. The data I'll keep in the Einstein Analytics platform itself, and I'll play around it. Okay, so in the right side, if you see, there is an option called create. If I click on create, you can see what I can do in Analytics Studio. I can create an application, I can create a dashboard, I can create story, I can create data set. And if you have anything already there, you can see the list here. What are the recent dashboards, or what are the recent data sets, what items you created, everything you can see here. And if you want to keep something in favorites, you can see your favorite tab also. If I marked some dashboard as my favorite dashboard, which I'm accessing daily, you can see here. Or if I can see here. Okay, what are the apps available? What are the dashboards I have? What are the storage we have? What are the lenses? These terms what I'm showing here, I'll talk about it. Okay, what are the data sets? Everything you can see available here. You can see it. If it's coming up all the stories, we keep from here itself. And one more important thing in this screen, if you see something called data manager. Okay, we'll talk about there. Okay, so now we Einstein Analytics org users who can access it, and we know where we need to access it. We go to App Launcher, set up Analytics Studio, or if you're in the Classic, simply we get one tab called Analytics. For example, go to Classic Experience. Okay, so then in the Classic Experience, what you go, what you the Classic here, just a minute, let me open. If you go to the Classic app, you can get Analytics. Wherever you want to use, both will come to this Analytics Studio windows. So now, if I go to my Alt tab, for example, you can see some analytics. You can play on from here also. Okay, but let's continue this with lightning experience. Okay, this Analytics Studio, and we saw multiple websites. So you can think about your dashboard or data set, everything. Okay, so as I was saying, the data to the platform, to the Tableau CRM platform, can outside of Salesforce. Think an example dashboard. Okay, to check my basic examples so that you can understand how. So accountant opportunity, and I want to see the messages on which time frame, how much revenue I'm getting from account. Okay, that kind of thing. And to build a dashboard, the major components, or to work with Analytics Studio, the major component, if you see, like here you can see something called data set, called dashboard, something called app. What are these things technically? So now set nothing. So I want to visualize my data. I want to run a predictive analysis on the data. So that means my data should be somewhere. So data, as I said, can be in Salesforce or can be outside of Salesforce. In any now, the data that I need to build this platform, CRM platform. So data set nothing but it contains a okay, it be formatted based for the interactive purpose or how you can visualize it. When I say it's nothing but get data. For example, now you can see to get data simply. So if click on create to this platform, the data you can get if you have data, somebody giving you data in a Excel sheet or CSV file, you can simply for CSV file. I click here. I'm going to select the CSV file. Let's my normal CSV file. I click next. I can give some. I gave my account CSV data, for example. Okay, the data I have in my CSV file stored somewhere in my system. I'm taking to here, and here we how you have report folders. Similar concept. We have applications here in and multi. Click on the next. You can see in CSV what are the data we have. We can see here. 4 columns in CSV. So it's account name, billing state, type, rating. So all the columns. If you want, you can change. For example, billing state province. I want to remove the billing province. Simply keep the state. Okay, type I want to keep it as. If I want to change the field types, okay, like dimension type, or if you want to have measure type, date type, this column data type, you can set it up. For example, I have a CSV column where I'm text type of column is there in CSV, but I'm storing the numbers. So I change to measure type, right? So like measure nothing but XML format data. That also you can do. You can upload file. That also will create a data set for you. Okay. So how you want to handle that also you can do simply from here. Let's see if I upload this file, the data I'm taking from CSV file, giving that data set to the to store my data in Salesforce Tableau CRM itself. Okay, this is one of the example. Okay, so once you create all the data sets, you can see the data what I entered. It's my data set coming up here. And if you go to my CRM, if I refresh it and let me show you the my items under data set also, you can say my data file came to here. So data set nothing but it's simply source of data on which I want to or I want to make or I want to run this. Okay. So now think this data what I uploaded right now from CSV might have, for example, 1 billion. Out of that 1 billion, I want to operate only the account who is having a billing state. So on top of data set, I can take a snapshot of it. So that's nothing but coming as a lens. It's a particular view into a data set. Okay, similar as report what we have into a data set's data. I can create also. Okay, if you see here, my all items what we created, you can see here my SCCVV. So if you see here, if you want to edit, you can edit it, you can open it, want to play around it. Okay, similarly, let's view from the data set if you are or like a top of the data set from the source data, I can say lens. And if you see, okay, this is nothing but one lens. You can see the moment you open a data set, it came as a lens. So let's many records here. Instead of that, let's make it tabular to understand it more nicely. Only the data which from the billing state D. Simply, I can give a filter. I can set billing state. Let's consider D. Apply filter. So my data set with many account informations, but now I'm taking a lens on top of it, like a particular view from the data set. Like you can see this is a lens, correct? So this lens I can save how I want. Okay, just a snapshot or just a specific view of my data set. I can do it. Let's see D account, for example. So I'm keeping in the private app right now. Okay, you can it, and on top of this we can visualize what you want to do it. Similarly, if you see something called dashboard, which will build a complete dashboard, and dashboard nothing but like how you do a report on dashboard and build a dashboard taking the source as a report or taking source like specific reports visual process. So here dashboard says, okay, you have your data in your data set. From data set, you build a dashboard, put different like chart, metric, table, what you want. Okay, and then we can visualize the data in the dashboard. I'll show you how it's going on. And to keep all this data set lanes, we need somewhere to store it that can be stored under the app. So I create a folder in similar way. We can create an app in Tableau CRM where we can control who can view these applications, who can edit, who can manage all the stories. Like if I go to my analytics studio here, If I want to create an application, I click here. Let's see, I'll give a application name. Okay, like different there is also some template given to us, or you can create a blank app completely, like everything you have to build by your own self. You can create it. Or if you want to create, for example, I want to create an app of type sales analytics app. Okay, I click this, click continue. Okay, then something about what this app can have. Click the continue here. Just give the some kind of names, create a brand new app. Okay, or you add this template to existing app. What you want to do in that way, simply give the names and can start it off. Okay, it's just few automatically everything going on. See, now I'm not using any complex scenarios. Simply no coding, just that I need, what I want to do. Okay, what that I have. How, okay, we can do like you can get app like this. Okay, and simply once you create the app, inside the analytics app, what you want to keep. It's a basic app, custom app. If you, depending on the what template you use, it will take us to give app. Myself app. This is one kind of application we create. Okay, so once you have a done instant analytics application, what you can do, you can control. Yes, I want to give to my CEO in the organizations, so I can give access to them only. Okay, and this application, what it can contain, it can contain the different dashboard, data set, what do you want, everything. This can continue, or this can store it. Okay, let it create. It takes a little bit time. Okay, it's nothing but similar as a report folder what we have. If you see the part of reporting here, for example, in the Salesforce report dashboard concept, if you go to the reports, both in a, if you see some folder we create here, correct? So like this, if I want to create a folder in the report dashboard, let's see, I say, let's say CFO folder, for example. Then I can control what are the report or dashboard I'm going to keep under this folder, who can access. Okay, so CFO folders. So now if you see here, like that, what dashboard, similar kind of control we can set in my dashboard also. Okay, this is as a template I taken. It's taking one steps and creating everything. So apart from that, what you can do, let's think one more. I saw here when playing with these dashboards or playing with analytics CRM, something called data manager. Okay, nothing but like say I have a data source. I create a data set. Now the data going to be load from Salesforce or from external databases to my Tableau CRM place. I want to monitor it, or maybe, as I said, we can schedule the data loading, correct? So that also we can monitor it. So data manager, nothing but it helps us to manage my data and monitor my data. Okay, so it's a place where everything is placed for you to bring the data from sources to my Salesforce analytics platform, or you can say Tableau CRM platform. Okay, the data might be from external source, and while bringing, if you want to do some transformation on data, like if I have some text data, I want to convert to dimensions, I want to change the column names, I want to write some formula on top of that, that transformation we can do, and we can build the data flow, and we can monitor the data set, how I'm going to place it, and also we external data sets. For example, if you go here, if you go to monitor tab on data manager, you can see what are the data sets we run, or what are the jobs we have, or what are data flow we have, everything we can see. We can schedule, we cannot schedule. If you create, you want to schedule it, you can do also from here. And if you want to create, you can define from here also. Or if you see what are the data you have, data nothing but your data analytics. of data for your okay. So or if you see some connected data, if you see like in the when I'm creating a data, I might take from CSV, might connect to Salesforce objects, might connect to some external databases, everything. And you can see what are the connections we defined. We can see everything from here also. Okay. So now let's think one more scenario. Let this continue. It takes time. Now, if you see, if I go to create here, if you click my another data set, I can bring data from my Salesforce data itself. Simply, I cache like how I load CSV file. I can load data from Salesforce. For example, I want to get my user informations. Okay, so when I'm loading a data, I can data to any existing data flow, or I can add to new data flow. For example, I give I want to create, I want to load only the user information. For example, to show you what I'm going to do here, can pick from which object you want to do. Automatically, it open my data flow screen where I want to get data from the user object. Okay. Or let's consider from account and user, for example, account and account owners I want to take. I took my account object here. Okay. Now here if you see, I from which object I want to get data. As I selected, I want to get data from Salesforce local. So now you can see there is a plus icon. If you click two options from the object, what are the field you want to get, and do you want to get any related data? I want to get account name. I want to get account type. Let it open. You can just learn here also, or I want to get account rating. So from the account object, select three field, and I want to get some owner information also who own this account. I can go to relationship, then you can see what are the objects related here. For example, I want to get owner information. Let's select it. Or I want to get parent account information. Let's select it. You can do that. Okay. So from owner information, what I want, for example, the full name. I want okay, and I want mobile. What are the field and for your analysis? You can just take it from here. Or for example, from parent account, I want to take, for example, that much sufficient for example. Okay. Now see, this is the data flow screen. Just being addition of field relationship, then automatically self understand what data I'm going to take it. Automatically you can see data flow created everything, and I'm going to it. You can run a data flow here. Simply you can run a update data flow here. Okay. So options we have here. I'll talk about this. So you can see the user table, account table, they both augmented to the account user table. Then from there, I took only the accounts. Then we register the users. You can see, you can see builder, you can see some kind of filters. Okay, so many more functions given to us which we can use. I'll go to that part also. Similar way, like if you want to load the data from external sources, you can see here external data from CSV. I can get data from the Salesforce and I can get data from external data. If I click here, so now we have many inbuilt. So you have data which sources you want to get data. Let me go to once again this Analytics Studio, create data set, external data, data placed somewhere outside. Correct. What is the connection I have to local and external data? Okay, let's see. I say connect to data. Now where I want to connect. So the connection, let's see. You can options you can have by default like automatically mutual connections. You can see live connections, what available you can see here, input connections, everything. Okay. So where you want to get Heroku. I can use this. Let's see if I want to get data from Marketing Cloud, or I want to get data from Windows Azure, or I want to get data from AWS. Okay. So for example, I want from Snowflake. If I select, then you have to give the options like who on sales on Snowflake, what is your private key, what is your connection name, and what is the name password. So nothing but you have to them. And if you see, if I go to set, okay, I want to get data from Heroku, you have to enter your connection settings and do it. For example, I want to get data from Google Analytics. Okay, so then you can see here it's asking Google Analytics private key, your client email, and I want to get data from NetSuite. Okay, so NetSuite account, REST domain, depending on where you want to connect, you will fill this information. Automatically, my connection will be settled here if all authentication information are okay. So once you get that, that means like this, you can get data from different sources. Okay, and I can create data set from another existing data set. For example, I have two data sets already created in my org. To build another data set on top of that, my source data is going to be data set which already available. Let's have account, opportunity, user, case, and some other objects. That data I already brought to the analytics platform. Take a few of them. Okay, or maybe combining multiple data set and getting one data set. After that, prepare and combine data in data set using a recipe and create data set with that result. So that is okay. And then you can set it up. Okay, so you can something. Okay, you can create different data flows to do it. I'm just giving the overview what we can do with analytics data. What sources of data I'm going to get it. Okay, so as I said, data you can get from local Salesforce, nothing but on the current Salesforce CRM is available, or maybe you have multiple Salesforce org, but in one your Tableau CRM is there. Get data from another org. That also you can say external Salesforce or any databases, maybe Heroku, AWS, MySQL, SQL Server. There are many connectors are given which you can use to get it. Okay, we have seen now. Whenever I'm creating data set in the thing called data flow coming. So when it's nothing but we used to transform the data. We run some logic on the data what I'm getting, or we want to convert some data types, or we want to add some filters. So that kind of transformation when you want to do on your data set, that can be done only with data flow. So now if you see, if I go to create a data flow, for example, my data flow, just to understand giving this name, I click create. Here many options we have. Let's see, I want to put some filter conditions, or I want to slice my data set, or I want to do some change type from dimension to measure. Okay. Or if you see, I want to do some augment, I want to append the data, some kind of transformation if I want to do on my existing data in the platform, then I have to use my data flow. Okay, anyhow, when running a dashboard, we can see how it's happening. Okay, so data manager. So this one, analytics data manager. Once you go to data manager, then you can see data flow recipe and you can create a data flow how we came to in the screen. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I will create a what are the concepts we have logged. Okay, then we will see how it looks like. Very simple small dashboard. I'll do it. I'll take opportunity account and opportunity owner as my data. Okay, on top of that, I'll use some template to create a dashboard to see every 3 months what are the revenue we are expecting, or what are the revenue we have generated from the accounts. Okay, so dashboard nothing but, as I said, we are going to do a graphical representation or visualization of my data. And if you see, let me close all these tabs. Okay, here. So now the blank. Okay, everything you have to configure. Or do you want to create a dashboard from template? So Salesforce WCRM already providing some list of templates, and we can use that to create a dashboard, okay, which will be more easy. Or if you want to create a blank dashboard, you can go from here. Let me show you the easy way how you can do it by using template. So if you click on this create a dashboard from template, if you see right now we have around 10 different templates given by Salesforce. So now every template associating with specific features depends on what type of dashboard you want to build. You can the templates. For example, if you see comparison dashboard and detail dashboard. So comparison dashboard will help you to compare the metrics side by side. Like this image, you can see side by side, you can compare on a single dimension only, and you can filter both columns of information using a filter bar in the top. Okay, if you simply you can use it. But whenever you want to visualize data with a chart and include the record level, okay, including the KPI kind of thing, you can go for here. Okay, and if you see, let's consider the times. So if you want to have a feature metric, like okay, what happening in the time series from Jan 2021 to July, what happened, July to October, what happened. So that type of time series data, if you want to see, you can go for time series also. Okay, and one thing, if you see, some template are marked as or nothing marked. So smart template says, okay, so Salesforce will help you, or Tableau CRM will help you automatically to set up your dashboard. So they will ask kind of questions, what do you want to do? You fill it, then automatically this information will be set. Okay, so now depending on what type of dashboard you want to select, different questions might come for this templates. Okay, so for example, I want to take a normal dashboard template. If I take comparison dashboard, what is going to happen? I'll go to this continue. Okay, then I have to give the application name. Okay, let's I give the name as sample comparison dashboard. I here some I used. Okay, I now see directly I'm coming to dashboard page and I can configure what you want. There is no questions being asked. But when I'll go to my studio, I go to create, I click on the dashboard, and I'm just going to run here, dashboard from template. I want to use a smart template. Okay, I'm going to select this smart template, for example. Questions being asked. So these questions will define how your template going to look like. So that means whenever you want to build a dashboard, correct? So from data set, we have defined it. So now, as I'm saying, dashboard on the informations. So first, what I need to do, I need to create a data set. Okay, two options. If you want, you can create from here. But let me show you from data manager how I'm going to do. I already data set how you can do it, how I can load data. But let's go to data manager. You want to create a data set. Okay, you can in the manager's window. I'm going to data, and here I have option called data set. Okay, so what kind of data set you want to create? Here one options like CSV file, same option coming up here. But now you see one more options you have called data. Okay, if I want to create data flow nothing but my data set can be transformed using data flow. So if I create data flow here, let's see my SEC account opportunity owner data set I'm taking. Okay, the name like this. Okay, so now see I got this windows. So here I have to first build my builders. So I have to build my data set. Simply, I'm using this node data set builder. Okay, click this. Then you can see give a data set name. For example, I give the data set name as my SCC, OPP, owner data set. I want to get data from opportunity, account, and owner. Quickly, I'm picking up my opportunity here. My opportunity, I want to take some field like the opportunity name. I want to get from opportunity close date. I want to get from opportunity stage name, opportunity source, from who you came. I want to get, let's say, opportunity amount. So the amount analysis I want to do. And I want to connect this associated account, take the relationship, which I'll say as account. Okay. And from account, I want to take the field like account name. I want to take field like account when got created. I want to take the field like what is the industry of account. I want to field like account rating and, for example, account type. And similarly, I want to take this account owner informations. Okay, depends. You want to take opportunity owner, account opportunity owner. Let's see. I want to take this opportunity owner informations. I want to take, for example, full name, email, and like any data you want to connect, you can connect from here. I'm going to take this email, mobile. If you want more to add, for example, from relation, you can go and see all the relationship field and you can pick which one you want. Maybe your users, maybe your parent account, what you want, you can select again. And again, one node will start. But I don't want, I'm happy with this too. Simply I click next. So my augmentation ready and my data set is going to talk about this filter now. So when you have next series on this to talk more detail apart from this overview, we can go to this part. Like you can put filters, you can do some functions, we can do append and slice everything. So once we do this much, I did our update flow. So that is set, but till now I didn't run my data flow to bring data from these objects to platform. Move up from no data set. So once I run the data flow, now the data will come. So when data will come, we'll see in the monitor my data is running or not. You can see here my data is queued to run. Okay. So on it. Okay. So let me refresh and see. Immediately happen. When running, if you see here, object it run, it get 1000 records. Opposite object got 706 records. User records got 28 records. Then now augmented my account and opportunity. They combine up. So now opportunity account association happen. 706 opportunity with its account we got it. And for the users also augment to this opportunity and account. Let me refresh. You can see we can monitor completely. That data manager can help us to monitor. So successfully we ran, which took 18 seconds to run my data flow, and the data flow helped me to get 700 records. Okay, now my data flow is ready. So now I want to build a dashboard. So I go to my analytics and create. I'm picking a template. So for now, as I discussed about templates, let's see, I'm going to take a time series template here. I click continue. So now when I choose a specific template, it will ask some questions. So it's saying, okay, your dashboard will look like this. Okay, so what is your data source you want? Nothing but your data set. Let's my data set I want to set as my SEC OPP ONOD get right now. Okay, so dimensions. So we can select up to 6 columns here in this template to show the dimension. You can see widget on the left side of dashboard uses the first two dimension we select, and then we will apply the global filters. So let's see. Here I am taking the dimensions like, for example, account name I'm picking up. Okay, and I will opportunity stage. Okay, and then you can see something based on what you want to measure. Let's say I want to measure with amount column in opportunity what we have. Okay, so any as it's a time series, so on which time frame you want to check. Means you should have some date fields build a measure. Let's say I have a date field called close date in opportunity. I want to build it, and this is optional. That's fine. I'm not going to do anything. Now I click next. So now to give my the dashboard name, and I'll place on a app. For example, I say account dashboard. You know, I may have something else. I give the new name. So let's see, which folder you want to keep. For example, like keep in the My Sales app. Anywhere you can keep, or you can keep in the private folder. You click on the create. You can see automatically one dashboard came. See, I did. If you see complete summary of whole sessions, I signed off to the create a data set. Okay, and then I get dashboard, picking all these questions and answers. You can see automatically the filter what I kept, it's coming here. If I take a, without changing anything, if I take a preview, you can see my filters coming here. Okay, what filter you want. Okay, so you want, if you see anything you want to filter out, okay, for a specific account you want to do, you can do it, or you want to for a specific select it automatically my dashboard. So you can see the trend in a 3 month what happened, in 6 months what happened, in 12 month what happened, depending on the close date, everything you can see. You just click it, you can see automatically my getting changed, and the detailed information so you can see depending on what template we have. Okay, we didn't use any um, like complex skill set. Simply should know what to click, how to go, how to do it. Okay, once you have dashboard, if you can, you want to save, you can save here. Okay, you can see this dashboard will be available in the default mobile tablet, how it's going to look like. Okay, if you want to create a new version, you can do it. Simply click on the save. Okay, and similarly, if you see, if you want to see in the like presentation, simply click on this, you can see in the presentation mode. Share this dashboard, so you can share it by clicking on this share icon. Okay, whom you want to share. Do you want feed, or you want to export to queue? We want to get the URL and share this URL. Okay, and like when they open this, do you want to open as analytics tab or studio, or do you want to download this as an image? I can download as this is completely camera image. You can download and you can share to someone else also. Okay, close the exit the full screen, or if you want to for the notifications, if you want to write or some tagging you with your annotations, you can do from here also by clicking on these annotations. Like, see, I'm just working on this. I want me dashboard, if some changes happen, I want to see, I can follow a particular dashboard also. Okay, and if you see here, if you want to see the different versions what we have, what are the conversation going on, everything you can run in this dashboard. Okay, so to know what how easy you feel to run a dashboard simply here. For example, okay, to okay. Okay, let's see if you have any questions. So this is a simple way to build a dashboard using Einstein Analytics or Tableau CRM without having any prior knowledge. So you can play around, you can just try to build some dashboards on the Salesforce objects, or if you have any external data source, you can build it. String data, you create data sets, data flow, and build a dashboard using templates, or you can create with blank. Okay, and see, this is just an overview in Tableau CRM. But yes, in the future we will take more sessions on this part in detail. Okay, we have seen a lot of node, like I said, this digest, filters, how to apply it, how to go through it, each one. Okay, but for now, it's starting from signing up to org, how I can build a dashboard and I can share it. That we covered up. Okay, so I think Sonali, we can take some questions here if you have, or we are good
Yes,
to go.
we have some questions, so I will read out the question and you can like answer those questions. So, first question we have from Snehal. Snehal says, any limitations of creating number of lens from one data set?
No, I'll not say we have any limitations in the number of cell data set, but you can create as many you want. So that's we can do. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We have the next question from Sai Manoj. Sai says, so Tableau CRM or Einstein Analytics are same.
Yes, both are same. So before it's named as Einstein Analytics, now it's named as WCRM. It's a naming change only.
Okay. We have next question by Subhash Jha. He says, how to enable Tableau CRM in existing dev org.
Yes, in existing dev org you cannot enable it. Okay, you have to create this free developer org here. But if you're using in a company, okay, if you want WCRM, then your company need to speak with the account manager of Salesforce to buy this license.
Okay. And the next question by Suresh. Suresh is asking the difference between Tableau CRM and Tableau.
CRM is a product of Salesforce, the science and product, but Tableau, like it's a I'll not say it's a complete similar, but in the Salesforce perspective, Tableau and Tableau CRM are the same thing. Okay, Tableau is a company, okay, acquired by Salesforce a couple of years back, so they have their product Tableau CRM here right now in the Salesforce.
Okay. And the next question by Anjan. Anjan says, what is create story?
Nothing but when you have data set, you can put some questions and you can create story on that. Depending on the story, what you want, the will be designed accordingly. Automatically, Einstein Analytics platform will do it. So when you plan for the next sessions, we can just show all this in detail, how the story you are formulating, how Einstein is going to give the story. It's nothing but some set of questions and answers. Let's see, you have a dashboard and I can create some stories and put in the dashboard itself. So when you want, you can just type the questions, automatically you will get the data. Okay.
Okay. And the next question by Akash Kumar. Akash says, is it possible to trigger the data sync when the data is coming from another org?
Yes, that scheduling we have in the data flow. Okay, so let quickly I can show that here if I have right now. If you go to the, if you see here, so once you create the data flow, we can schedule it. You can see the schedule when you want to run it. You can run now, or you can schedule at a particular time any data set, and also you can see some event based. Okay, whenever connection syncs or whenever any event based or time based, that you can see here to do it.
Okay. And the next question by Sachin Huda. Sachin says, do we have any limitation advantages on sharing the app to other user in respect to report folder? Like a folder can be shared among only one among particular user roles or public groups only.
Okay, so when you share the applications, so applications we can share the same way to the users what we want, and apart from that, you can see we can share the specific dashboard irrespective of complete application. If you want to share one dashboard, that also you can share it, which I have shown you in the end of the session. So like how you can share as a URL, as a image, or as a chatter feed, that also you can do as a sharing part for a particular dashboard also.
Okay, and the next question by Vijay Puri Metla. Vijay says, you Okay, he has given the answer. You can schedule the data flow for any analytics dashboard to be shared to the user. User need to have one appropriate permission set.
Permission set.
Yeah,
Perfectly
thanks,
answered. Yeah.
Vijay, for the answer. Yes. Now the next question by Irfan. Irfan says, "Can we use custom object in Tableau CRM dashboards?"
Any object, the data can be anywhere, maybe standard object, custom object, or maybe outside the surface also. You can use
Yeah.
anything.
Okay. And the next question by Balachandra. He's asking like, do we have a certification for this as well for
Yes.
Tableau? Yeah.
So yes, we have. If you log into work assessor, I think that web assessor, you can see there we have discovery consultant. Many more certifications are there. You can do that also.
Okay, and now the next question by Ankur Kansal. He says, "Can you please show for external data connections like SAP SAP?"
Yeah, I do not have the SAP connections, so but I can show when you go to connect to data. So see, when you see from which port, what is the server, what is the database, and what is the schema you want to get. That kind of setup you have to do it. But I don't know. I do not have any SAP setup, so I cannot connect to here. But you can set your, if you have anything, put username, password, your database, and on which port your SAP is running, you can set it up.
Okay, so it's a similar thing, like we just need
Yeah,
to
similar
set
thing.
up the
Yes,
connection.
right.
Okay, okay. And the next question by Sai Manoj. He says, "Can we implement with managed packages or unmanaged packages and install in subscribe org?"
This is like I didn't set it as a managed package on it. I'm not sure, but I can check and I'll let you know. I'm not sure, so I don't want to give any wrong answer here.
No problem. And the
Yeah,
next question by Anuj Agrawal. He says, "Can we enable Tableau in CPQ org?"
like any Salesforce or you have, if you buy the license, you can use it.
Yeah, Vijay, have already answered this. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Thanks, Vijay. Next question by Akash Kumar again. He's saying, "Is it possible to give live data by triggering the data flow rather than scheduling it?"
If it's only the event based, and you can manually run it or schedule it.
Okay, and the next question by Naziruddin. He says, "When we pull data from Salesforce, does it respect sharing settings?"
No, the data we are bringing to the analytics platform. Okay, so when the just think you have account data, okay, you run the data flow, it's completely came to data set. So data in separate data maintained in your data set. Okay, so in a data set we didn't define any kind of control, but when you run this the dashboards, so there you can control what to filter or not, or what to show or not. Okay.
Okay. And the next question by Abhishek Nagar. He says, "Can you share some information about security or session hijacking?" I think it's
So yeah, yeah, that's a big topic on these platforms and like WSN platform. And definitely we promise we'll cover in upcoming sessions.
yeah, we can have a different session
Yes,
maybe for this. Yeah. And next by Ankit, "Can we have more than one data source? If yes, at what extent?"
yes. Let us sources like as you are saying. If you see here, like I think I've already shown that also. When you create data set, the data set also can be created from another data set. We can combine data. Okay, you can do here like how many data sets you want. Like for example, if I go to this data, you create data flow. Let me open this existing data flow, for example.
Yes, I see Vijay already
Yeah,
answered this. Yes, you can have more than
perfect.
one data source by using the data set of the end data flow.
Perfect.
Okay, then the next question by Naziruddin again. What roles does an integration in?
Say integration user, what it mean? That's first the question. So everything here license driven. Okay. So what license permission set given to user, they depending on that they can do. Okay. So like in many organizations, they use integration user to define the external data sources to Salesforce. So that will help us. Okay, but specific to WCRM, it's all the license, what licenses which user have. It's not a particular user. Okay, maybe integration user may be a particular user you might have in your org. So if somebody might have some other names also. Okay, like somebody says system admin user. Okay.
Okay, then the next question by Ankur Kansal. He says, do we require any coding also in Tableau CRM? Means if you don't want to go in development and have experience of Salesforce admin, so it is good, right? That's the question.
See, right now what I have shown you, it's without a single coding knowledge, correct? But see, when you're building the advanced dashboards, you might need a SAQL, okay, analytics query language. So that will help you also. Okay, you need to learn the Apex, the Lightning component, and all those stuff. But yes, SQL you should know to build some advanced dashboards. For example, if you see here, what I'm building will be taken care in the SQL also, like um, particular lens, for example. If you see here, lens what is built is nothing but in backend one code is generated. So like this is SQL. So some complex queries you might need to write to build the dashboard or to build the lens.
And the next question by Sachin Huda. Can we run it as any particular user, like we can run a dashboard in any user context?
That part we can cover up in the sharing and sharing model or security model what we have in the analytics platform. It's a long discussion on that.
Sure, we can
Yeah.
have the other session. Then next by Zishan Ahmed, he says, can we implement translations in dashboards?
Yes, you can try it. The translation to work on that part.
Okay, and the next by Irfan, will it take sharing settings for Salesforce data in Tableau dashboards?
Here it will have the, see, it will respect that, but depending on the what setting I'm defining in the security and sharing model in Tableau Analytics. Okay, so there is few steps to be followed, and definitely Sonali will plan for this
Yeah,
security layer for this soon. Okay,
sure, sure.
so yeah, we'll cover that part. It's
Yeah,
like how we have OWD and how we define the roles and all the stuff. With that context, we'll define the sharing for the Tableau CRM also.
yes, so yes, participants, please stay tuned when we will have this next session. Definitely, you can get these answers clarified in more detail. Yeah, so the next question, it's by Zishan again. Can we directly transfer the data of a particular lens or widget of dashboard to an LWC component?
No, we are not going to send the data from dashboard to LWC components. Okay, so but the records we can open from, depending on the analytics setting what you do. If you have a record you want to open that, you can open it, and depending on the record page what you use, depending on that data will be set. Okay, but not like you're calling LWC component from the dashboard here.
Okay, and the next
Yeah.
question by Sai, can we place in Experience Cloud?
Yes, the dashboard what you build, the dashboard using the dashboard components, you can put in your Experience Cloud. And I
Okay,
think I did this with one COVID-19 dashboard in Experience Cloud also. That also can
okay.
be possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And again by Zishan. So, can we fix slash set the view of a dashboard with respect to active user? If we can implement translations, then how is their implementation in data flow or in dashboard itself?
Okay.
Uh,
When you say view of dashboard in active users, in the sense if they are not active users, how they will log in to see it?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that depends. So when active users, they will log in and see. Or if you want to give to someone outside of this Salesforce, then manually you have to share this, which I have shown in the last slide. You can just click on the share and get the URL or get the image and share with them.
Yes. And there is also one question. If we can implement translation, then how is their implementations in data flow or in
Yes.
dashboard itself?
Yeah, see, data flow, nothing but we are doing the um, transformation of the data. Okay, so like if I have 5 columns, I can transform and I can create more column, or I can filter some data, or I can change some data. That transformation we do. Okay, so if you want to use translation workbench, so it is not coming to this data flow scenario. Okay, translation workbench, when you do, it's nothing but the end user in what they want to see it. If transformation, sorry, translation, what you say, if you mean the translation workbench. Okay, so that is nothing but going to the end user what going to see it, not in the data flow. Data flow, we are building the data flow to transform the data.
Yeah. And we have the last question by Vijay. So Vijay says, can also use sharing rules option available in the augment option of data flow. Translations are applied in the lens under
Under
advanced
advanced as
APK.
well.
Huh.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, we can use this in like in augment what we have there, we can use it. So that's why I said there are around 15 plus nodes we have, which we have to talk about, like SFD digest, filter, like lookups. Okay, so that need to be covered up to talk about these augmentations.
Mhm. And I think we have one more question in addition to previous question by Zishan. So Zishan's previous question was like, can we fix set the view of a dashboard with respect to active user? And if we can implement translation, then how is their implementation in data flow or in dashboard itself? And the next question is like a requirement to show some widget to particular user and some to others. Can we restrict this?
So, some no see yes. So whenever we have widgets you build in the dashboard, it depends what data they will access depending on the sharing model what we're going to define. Okay, depending on that, that information will be shown to the users.
Okay, and the last
Yeah,
question by Ankur. Which is better to use? Transformation at data flow level or on dashboard level?
it depends on the requirement first. So if I know I'm building a dashboard and I know this dashboard need only 5 different filter of data, then I'll do transformation on my data set and I'll get it. So because when I'm loading the dashboard, so if I have already a transformed data, then it will be more faster. If I'm bringing the data and building the dashboard, then I'm doing transformation, then definitely transfer runs a huge set of data when end user accessing it. But if I initially filter my data and I give to end user, then it's more better. So but again depends on your user requirement, you have to define it.
Okay, so I think
Perfect. Yeah.
Ankur's question is answered and we are done with all the questions as of now. Yeah, he has added one more. So also, how can we reduce data flow execution time? What's the best ways to do the same?
Yeah, that depends on how much transformation you want to do and how you create the relationship schema when bringing the data. And definitely depends on what is the volume of data coming off.
Yeah, I think it's answered Anku's question. So we are done as of now, Debashish, and I think we
Perfectly fine.
can
Yeah.
move ahead with the next module, that is the quiz
Okay.
session.
Yeah, I'm just
So
stopping my sharing. You can share and continue with that.
yes, so
And
I'll
then
hand
but
over.
for the past time I
Yeah.
answer, we covered up all the questions from the Q&A section. That's good. Yeah.
Yes, yes, that's the best part. Yes, so thank you, Devashish, for this wonderful session. Now we will, based on the session or the topics covered today, we have a quiz. So Manasvi will be handling the quiz part. I hand over this stage to Manasvi. Over to you, Manasvi.
Nani, thank you there. This is such an insightful session. So, hello everyone. Let's get ready for the quiz. Meanwhile, just give me a minute.
Screen is not visible yet.
Yeah, I'll just try. I'll try resharing it. Yeah, is my screen visible now?
Not yet, Manas. Yeah, it's loading, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's loading yet. It's not yet loaded.
Okay, okay. Just confirm once it's loaded and visible.
Sure.
Is it visible?
Saifuddin says it's visible. Can Debashish you also confirm it's visible? I think it's something from my end.
Yes, yes, yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can
sure.
see.
So Manasvi, you can continue then.
Okay, okay, fine, great. So I'll just like people are already joining, so that's great. But I'll just let everybody go through the guidelines for the quiz. So all the attendees need to enter the link www.kahoot.it on your browsers, like any devices, mobile or laptop, whichever you're using. So Nani, kindly put the www.link Kahoot link on the chat
Sure,
box.
sure.
Write it in the chat box. After that, you can see the pin displayed on the screen. You can proceed by entering your name, and the names are being displayed on the screen after successfully registering into the quiz. If there are issues you're facing to join the quiz, please mention accordingly in the chat box so we can just help you out with it. I can see 37 of them have already joined. Okay. Okay, so 42 of them have already joined. We'll wait for more 2 minutes so that all the attendees can join the quiz.
Can you tell where to enter the pin?
Yeah, like after entering www.kahoot.it, you get the box where you have to enter the pin, and also you have to enter your name. So the questions of the quiz will be displayed on the screen with their respective options. Whichever you think is the right answer for the question, kindly match the color code of the options and then select the correct answer. This is how the quiz will be going on. And do remember, this is the fastest finger quiz, so the attendees need to select the correct answer in the fastest time. And accordingly, the winners will be displayed on the screen by Kahoot itself on completion of the quiz. So, like 49 of them have joined. Shall we begin with the quiz? Sonali, kindly confirm if anybody is facing issue.
I think we can start.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody joined.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We can
Okay.
start.
Okay. So I'm starting with the quiz. Okay, so the first question on the screen, Tableau CRM, formerly known as, and also the options are displayed. The first option, Einstein Analytics, second, Advanced Report, third, Salesforce Function, and fourth is Data CRM. So select the correct answer. Okay, 46 of them have answered. Okay, that's great. So the correct answer is Einstein Analytics, WCRM, formerly known as Einstein Analytics. 39 of them have answered correctly. Let's see the scoreboard. Okay, so Rishi is at the top, uh, following up with Abhishek Nagar, Mahesh Sharma, Jishan, and Sachin Hooda. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Be ready? So the second question on the screen is, what is lens? And the options are, first is process of capturing data from one object to another object. Second is a particular view into a data. Third is combination of charts. And fourth is folder inside Einstein app. and the 47 of them have answered correctly. Okay, 33 of them have answered, and the answer is lens is a particular view into a data. So moving on to the next question. Okay, so Sachin Huda has again at the top, following up with Rishi, Shalini, Devendra, and Anshul. Next question on the screen. Which permission set license used for Tableau CRM? And the options are Tableau CRM Plus, second is Analytics Super User, third is Tableau CRM System Admin, and fourth is Analytics System Admin. 44 answers, okay, 45 of them have answered, 49, and only 24 of them have answered correctly. So the permission set license used for Tableau CRM is Tableau CRM Plus. Moving on to the next question. Before that, let's see the scoreboard. So Rishi Ganesh is at the top, following up is Sachin Huda. Okay, Srinivas Reddy, Vijay, and Ankur. Okay, let's move on to the next question. And the fourth question on the screen, what data can be loaded in Tableau CRM platform? And the options are only Salesforce data, only outside Salesforce data, third is both Salesforce and external data, or only REST API. 47 of them have answered, 49. Okay, and let's, okay, so 48 of them have answered correctly. That's nice. And the correct answer is both Salesforce and external data. Data can be loaded in Tableau CRM platform. So Salesforce and external data. Let's see the scoreboard. Okay, so Rishi Ganesh is at top, following up with Srinivas Reddy, Ankur, Vijay, and Jishan. And moving on to the final question for the quiz. What is recipes in Tableau CRM? We are transforming connected data or existing data sets into new data set, monitoring data migration from external data to Tableau CRM, sharing dashboard with users, or linking CSV and API data in platform. So 43, 44 of them have answered. Okay, and 30 of them have answered correctly. And the correct answer is recipes in Tableau CRM is way of transforming connected data or existing data sets into new data set. Now let's see the final scoreboard. Okay, so we have Ankur Kansal on third place. On second place, we have Vijay Ratnala. And so we have Rishi Ganesh on the first place. So that was really nice. Like all of them have actively participated. I hope all of them have added on to their knowledge and enjoyed the quiz time. Thank you all for the participation in the quiz and congratulations to the winners.
Manasvi, you can yes, the
Yeah,
participants, you can like the winners, you can paste your email ID in the chat box so that
yes,
we can send you the certification voucher as well.
yes, exactly. So I request the winners to please put up their email IDs in the chat box so that we can send the certification vouchers on your respective email IDs.
Yes, so we have all the three winners' email ID on the chat, and I believe we can conclude with this session. So,
Yeah. Thank you once, thank you everyone once again.
uh, and I also thank Debashish once again for giving time and conducting this session with our community. It was really nice conducting the session with you, and we look forward to have more sessions with you in future as well. And yes, I believe we can end the session. If anything to add, Debashish, you can.
No, I'm good to go. So thanks for inviting me, and thanks for collaborating with the Bhubaneswar developer group to deliver the session. And definitely, as promised, we will do upcoming sessions soon. And thanks everybody for joining us, and hope you guys have enjoyed the time with us, and looking forward more in future.
Thank you, Debasis.
So
Yes.
thank you, Mansif. Thank you, Sonali. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye bye. Ending the
Thank you
meeting
all.
in like 3, 2, 1.